It's now time for updates from sports stories across the globe. Aaron Akirijola joins us now. I hope it's good news today, Aaron. Don't come here with bad news.
Okay, I'll try my best. Good morning to you, Doctor. Good morning. Good morning. Let's actually start it off with Nigerian football. It's rather unfortunate. We've actually hit a very low point, and the Minister of Sports, Senator John Eno, has actually hit the panic button. As a matter of fact, as he will be meeting with the board and the president of the Nigerian Football Federation next week to deliberate on how they can rescue this very, very bad situation that the Super Eagles find themselves in Group C of the World Cup qualifiers, having not won a single game after 4 rounds of game have been played. And there are talks that even the presidency is wading into this. Doctor, you remember this, during the time of President Ebele Goodluck Jonathan, they actually put up a presidential task force being headed by the then governor of Rivers State, talking about Rotimi Amechi, and they brought in funds and they decided to motivate the Super Eagles. They went on to do great things, and they're saying that probably it's time to actually hit that particular panic button and begin to re-engineer things that would help us qualify for the 2026 World Cup. Away from that, it is good news, of course, in the league. But first of all, of course, matches were actually played, match day 36 in the league yesterday. And we saw the likes of Bendel Insurance winning big, Eyimba drawing with Bayelsa United, Aqua United winning also, Remo Stars trying to still probably push with a 4-1 win over Heartland. And when you actually look at the table at the moment, it still looks like as it should be. Rangers still topping with 64 points. Remo now close with 62. Eyimba, after suffering that particular boardroom loss of points, actually have 60 points. The good news is this. The Super 8 has been concluded at the Cathedral, and we will be having new teams coming to the Premier League next season. One from Lagos, Ikorodu City.
One from Ikenne.
Yes, okay.
Beyond Limits.
Beyond Limits is also coming. So that means Remo Stars and Beyond Limits. Remo Stars has two teams.
Two teams. So what's the law about that?
I am a little bit confused. I would need to read.
Yeah, I think we need to read the law about that, because one person now owns two teams in the NPFL.
Yes, that's what it means. Of course.
But kudos, Coach Olumide. I've known Olumide for over 10, 15 years. Right. Great guy.
And not forgetting the Academy Warriors also. Yeah. Also picking up a slot to play in the Nigeria Premier Football League for next season. But in the meantime, of course, Thiago Motta, 41-year-old, former PSG, former Inter Milan, and ex-Bologna coach, has been named as Max Allegri's successor. And he will be taking over the Bianconeris, the old ladies, going into next season. So the board not entirely happy, the Agnelli family not entirely happy with Max Allegri and some of his antics off the pitch, and they decided to replace him with Thiago Motta. Let's see if he will succeed. But in the meantime, in the NBA have been thrown into mourning because a very, very pivotal figure. His name is Jerry West. As a matter of fact, the silhouette in the NBA summers was actually crafted out of him, and he's been a defining figure, not just for the LA Lakers over the years, but also for the NBA. He's been their major ambassador. He actually passed away at the age of 86. And some good news, and for those that think that they've seen the last of Rafa Nadal on clay in the roller garage, we'll have to think again, because the Spanish team have actually announced for the Olympics, Nadal and Federer Nadal and Alcaraz will be partnering up for the doubles. And reminding me how things actually played out for Nadal 20 years ago in 2004, going to the Olympics when he was just starting. And his idol was also exiting the stage, same as Alcaraz and Nadal at the moment. Everyone seems to be watching out for that one. 26th of July, tennis events begin 27th of July. In Paris, Roland Garros was actually also put in. And let's talk about the fact that as it stands right now, the US Open is going to be waxing strong, and there are talks about war of attritions going on left, right, and center. Wyndham Clark will be hoping that he can actually defend what he's actually won. Tiger Woods is expecting a good outing. Let's see how that one goes. But some are saying that this man has hit rock bottom, or some are saying that he's actually gone into remission again, or he's actually had a relapse. I beg your pardon, not into remission. He's actually had a relapse. Talking about Tyson Fury, because videos of him surfaced coming out of a pub called Nowhere in Morecambe, and he was as tipsy as it could be, literally. Tyson Fury being helped by the security, and a lot of people were asking where is his entourage, because he was literally dancing. And another video actually we showed him still coming out of the pub, literally. He actually fell on the floor and he could not even gain his own composure, and this was the particular video of him on the floor, literally. And this was last week Friday, and a lot of people are saying,
wow, what's happening?
He still has a lot of demons to fight. Literally, he has a lot of demons to fight. Remember, he still has a bout to fight against Alexander Usyk in December.
And that's why I've been telling people that he's going to be beaten again in December. Is it with this? He's going to get out of this and get ready for December. But anyway, Fury is a comeback kid. He knows how to do it.
Yes, he does.
But I want to pay special tribute this morning. Yeah. Not because I'm from Odogbulu and what's the call from Ikene, to the owner of Remo Stars. Yeah. And I thank him so much what he has done. You know, that's the power of putting your money where your mouth is. This morning we're talking about MQ Abiola, what he did with MQ Abiola babes. We also appreciate the likes of what other people did with other teams across the country. But this man got out there. He didn't complain that government didn't give him infrastructure. He could have been playing at the Gateway Stadium in Shagamu.
Yes.
But he decided to build his own infrastructure, build his ecosystem, set up 2 teams now that have, second team has now qualified. And Remo Stars is well on their way. Probably, you never know, they might win the league this year if the stars align. All right, but they're second now. They just quickly you saw Kule Shoname.
Yeah, Kule Shoname. The Beyond Limits Academy is arguably the best in West Africa.
I can say recently,
arguably the best in West Africa.
Some FIFA technical Nigeria team came there with Augustine Eguavo to be able to look at the templates, and the place is just built there, just on the Ayepe Road in Ikene, and God knows the monumental cost Kule Shoname have put into, running that place, and he didn't just stop there. So he's having an intercontinental football mindset. He's also bought a team in second div in Portugal.
Yes, he's always had this.
He's always also had that.
He's always had
and his system has worked. Also, I also pay tribute to those that own Sporting Lagos. Even Sporting Lagos might be relegated and the fans are already clashing, they are not happy, they are eating on the table. Okay. The guys that own Sporting Lagos have done a very good job. They also have a team in Denmark. So this is the resurgence of the Nigerian league. What we just need to do is to put good television on it. Apart from the dastardly activities that happened during the Oriental Derby, 25,000 was the good old days of the Coca-Cola Challenge Cup once again.
True.
You have that number of people coming to the pitch. I used to be a true shooting star fan. I remember the good old days of going to the Adama Sigba Stadium, Lake Salami Sport Complex, and stadium was full. I would pay 15 naira to get in. So I'm happy that the Nigerian league is coming again. Kudos to the likes of Shoname.
Yeah.
I love what you're saying, Rufai, and I completely agree with you, because I remember, Aaron, you and I have a shared experience. Once upon a time, the NPFL was broadcast on multi-choice, and then it was dropped because they said the argument was that it wasn't profitable for it to be broadcast. It had no viewers, nobody was watching it. And now when you look at the stadiums and how much they're selling out, I think Kwese Sports also tried to pick up the rights, but they found that for the cost of the rights and what they were getting, the viewership was just too low. But when you see the momentum that the Nigerian Premier Football League is gaining now, you hope that, fingers crossed, hopefully some sponsors can come behind it. Some television rights can also be awarded around it, so that it can take its rightful place, because clearly there's a passion and there's a following for it. As for Fury, I really empathize with him. I've watched his reality show, and he really does have mental health issues, and he also belongs to the gypsy culture. And the gypsy culture, I believe, demands that they stop being educated from the age of 12. They're not actually allowed to go to formal school. So even his children, he has 3 daughters and I think two sons, don't go to school. They don't believe in going to school. And he was raised as a fighter. He was raised fighting. This is all he knows. So there's so many demons he's fighting, along with sort of not being able to really manage his estate, along with the gypsy culture, along with just so many things going on with him. So, when you consider the mental health challenges he's fighting, really do have a lot of empathy, and, possibly wish that maybe he would actually go back into retirement and just call it a day and focus on himself and his family.
Okay, other stories. Mike Tyson says he will not mind fighting Anthony Joshua, aging. Mike Tyson is 57. He's to fight Jake Paul later in the year in September.
Exhibition fight, I must
yes, well, a crossover exhibition fight. Jake Paul being a YouTuber who now says he's a boxer. So, and then he says after that he would like to have a charity bout with Anthony Joshua. But I hope his health will be able to stand up to it because he had a scare.
Yes, he did.
Recently, and there were speculations whether he will be strong enough to,
fight Jake Paul,
enter the ring with boys who are of the generation, same generation as his children. He's 31 years older than Jake Paul. By the way. Now, Nadal and Alcaraz have been named into the Spanish team for the Olympics. All federations are required to submit the names of their representatives by June 19. I hope that Nigeria will meet that deadline. But, it's to be a great combination to have Nadal and Alcaraz, one of those emerging stars who have been touted as one of those persons who could possibly replace the big three. To see them, pairing for Spain at the Olympics. Now, there's a story in one of the front pages today in the UK about Phil Foden and his wife, his girlfriend.
His mystic girlfriend.
Partner, that's the word used. Attending, going to consult, a mystic about tarot cards while they are preparing to go for.
Doctor, we'll talk about the Euros more. We'll talk about the Euros too.
No, where I'm going is different too.
I know what you're talking about.
I know once we discussed juju in African football here. So when you bring a story, you say, this team is complaining that maybe somebody used juju. It's very interesting to see that even Phil Foden and his girlfriend.
Oh, you say rather the girlfriend
will go and be consulting fortune tellers on the way to Euro 2024. So it's not just an African thing, you see.
No, white witches. White witches.
No, so the point is this. Of course, I don't know why it's a big news, but nevertheless, it is big news because they are not used to that particular that culture. For example, in France, black magic or white magic, whatever you want to call it, is very prevalent. And I don't know why he would decide to even go there because he's been influenced heavily by, you said his partner, for example. He's been heavily influenced by...
No, they said mystic wag.
Okay.
Wag, wives and girlfriends.
So, but that might not change the fate of the Three Lions of England. Of course, the Euros will be kicking off tomorrow with Germany against Scotland, and
that's a good one.
Yes, very good one. And England will be hoping that the fortune aligns for them because the last time out.
Which country do you think will win? England, France, or Germany?
I'm thinking probably you can put it past Germany and the Le Bleu of France. All right, these are.
But the Opta supercomputer says England.
Nah, England's a namely man. I don't think Gareth Southgate has the winning DNA within his structure
he
to
has
be able to push
an attacking machine.
No, he does. He's always had them. But the fine lines that define good from great, I think he lacks it, and that has actually held him back because he's done very well with the Three Lions of England, and his contract will be expiring in December, and they're still talking about maybe even renewing it or maybe he walking away. That's how good he has actually done with the Three Lions. But winning takes a special quality.
They got close to it in 2021.
Nearly. There are people that nearly met. Jerry West, like we spoke about.
And you see, the only time England won any major tournament, which was World Cup in the 60s, they had to do a Euro to win the World Cup. So the 66 cost is still on there. Even in Euro 96, when you had the best team, when you had Paul Gascoigne, you had the likes of Alan Shearer and all of that, they couldn't still win it, in Euro 96, which they thought was going to be their glorious.
No, they even thought the last Euros was their Euros. Hosting it at home at Wembley, in front of their own fans.
They need a Euro to
win it. Was supposed to be upon them then, but they just found a way to bungle it as they always do.
The last time the Opta supercomputer, gave a prediction, the computer got it right. Let's see who will get it right this time.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Aaron.